What's up, Samurai? We are back in some more Trove, and today we are on the test server because we're experiencing the newest update coming to Trove, which is probably Trove's worst update yet. Most of all, I want to say that I actually think the update itself is well thought out and really good. However, the execution is what's terrible about it. And honestly, I don't know whether the developers are watching this or if anybody has influence with the developers. We need to rise up again and tell them no, so that hopefully this doesn't end up going through, because this will potentially end up making everything in the market way more expensive. And on top of that, will discourage new players from even attempting to use the market. And we'll end up dabbling in all of that today. So the test server has a full update. It's not just related to the taxes. There is a new merchant. There's some additional changes, but we're not going to talk about any of that today. Today, we're specifically going to be focusing on the marketplace and the sales tax. That's why I'm in my Monopoly outfit. But this update, it's just as bad as when they tried to add the party system to Trove. Like, it's just not a good update. It's also very lackluster, as you would expect. You know, so far this year, the updates have been very shallow, and fingers crossed we're going to end up getting that big update sometime soon. But anyways, I digress. So here's what the update talks about. So it says, with this update, we wanted to make some improvements to the market, along with discouraging marketplace flipping or cornering, which, as you'll see, this is not going to affect that at all. As a result, we looked at the utility provided by popular marketplace mods on PC and tried to incorporate similar quality of life changes so more players can have a better experience on PC and eventually on consoles. Now, the irony is that the PC mods are still going to end up having more sale items for display, but this actually is a huge quality of life change that I love. It's the rest of the implications that I don't like. So they also mentioned that they are adding a light listing fee and an overall 10% sales tax to the marketplace to discourage flipping and manipulation. Boy, oh boy. It's so stupid. So we'll dive into it a little bit more. But anyways, the marketplace updates themselves. They have Pinzo up here, which, okay, cool. I love Pinzo. He's an idiot. Which probably explains why this update is so bad. The marketplace now, it only accepts Flux, so you can't trade Pentasouls or anything anymore. Not that anybody ever did. I don't know anybody that ever did. But you'll be able to end up getting your Penta selling items off of the market once they expire and they're claimable and blah, blah, blah. So when listing, it doesn't mean that you can't still sell Pentasouls on the market. It just means the only currency you can use is Flux, not Pentas. So when listing an item on the marketplace, a listing fee will be charged. This fee can range from 100 to 40,000 flux, depending on the listing of the price and items being listed. If the item does not sell, this fee will not be returned. If the item does sell, the fee will be returned. Flip that around, devs, because that is what discourages new players from using the market, because players like to experiment. Players like to put things on the market and see if people will bite. And then if they don't, you easily just take it off the market and lower the price. Now, you can't do that. You'll be punished for doing that. In an online game where you want to trade with other players, you are literally being punished for trying to trade and just happening to put the price at the wrong value. So for example, if I tried to sell this Gonda for 20 mil, and then I put it on the market, it's going to cost me 14.8K, sorry, which might not seem like that big of a deal. Okay, whatever. But oh crap, nobody's buying it at 20 mil. Let me take it off the market. I just lost 14K. You might think that it's not much of a fee, but in combination with everything else that drains players' flux in this game, like gems and whatever else, this is extremely difficult for new players to take advantage of the market, and flipping, in my opinion, is a good thing. Helps stable out the economy, makes it so that new players actually stand a chance if they know how to bother flipping. This doesn't discourage it, it just encourages people increasing the value. So anyways, On top of the listing price, if the item is sold successfully, it will be have a 10% sales tax charge. If the item is sold before this change, but the seller claims the profits after the update goes live, you'll still get hit with the sales tax. So basically, sell right now. Sell everything that you've ever wanted to sell on the market at this instant. Get rid of all of your stock. Sell your GameStop stock. Sell your Roblox stocks, because it's going to plummet, man. Things are going to end up becoming so ridiculously inflated and overpriced that people are just going to be completely discouraged from using the player market. And here's why. Here's why this is a problem, because, okay, I put Gonda up on the market for 20 mil. That means that I'm going to get a 10% sales tax, which, if Google is not lying to me, is 2 mil. So guess what I'm going to do? Guess what me and every other player is going to end up doing? Yep, that's right. We're going to increase the price so that we can end up getting that sales tax back. Now, arguably, this is going to end up being an even more expensive sales tax. So no matter what, you can't really fight the system. But it still remains to be seen that, okay, well, I'll take a loss, but did you really take a loss? The only person who's losing in this transaction is the consumer, the person that's buying the item from you, because now players are going to end up inflating the prices so that they make the maximum profit possible. And then the person who is buying the item, they're the ones that are going to end up being punished with this. Now, there are a couple of solutions. Again, I think that you shouldn't get charged unless it sells. And I think that that should just charge you the listing fee rather than being punished for taking things off of the market. Or maybe make it so that the more of an item, like maybe the more stacks of ore you have or something, maybe that could end up being what gets calculated rather than the raw price. I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know a more elegant solution than this. I'm just saying that this is not the way. Okay, so unfortunately, this is something that we hopefully can make enough noise about, either in the Trove Discord or on the Trove forums that only like 5 people use in the first place. They've been hearing a lot of players' Discord about this issue in their Discord, pun intended. But they need to hear it from more people. They really need to feel the backlash from this so that they actually pay attention and do something about it. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is the same thing that's happened every time the Trove devs try to put out an update that nobody likes. They're just going to put it out and they're just going to think that they know better, even though they're not the people that are playing this game. And we are. And, you know, the only thing that I can fathom that this is trying to actually combat isn't market flipping. This is trying to combat flux dupers. But here's the problem. The people that have duplicated flux have done it way in the past. They've done it years ago. They have billions of flux, literal infinite value of flux. So this isn't going to stop them from flipping. It's just going to end up increasing the price of everything. It's too little too late to try and say that they're going to combat this when it just, again, I think that this update overall as a whole is a really good one, but the problem is the execution, because here's what's going to happen. If people don't want to end up dealing with all this tax and crap, you know what they're going to do? They're going to flock to trade chat and start using trading posts again, which in my opinion defeats the entire purpose of using the market, where you don't want to end up, you know, busting your butt off in trade chat trying to trade with people. You want to just be able to enjoy it right away. Anyways, aside from all of that negativity, let me know what you guys think about it. Maybe there's another side to this that I'm not seeing. Maybe there's a better side to this that I'm not seeing. Honestly, if this gets added to the game, I'm not trying to clickbait or over exaggerate it or anything. I think it is going to be pretty bad, but I don't think it's going to end up being what, you know, breaks this game. Players are just going to end up adapting to it. And that's what I don't like, is that they just seem to constantly be making it worse, a worse and worse user experience. Now, speaking of the good side, let's talk about the good in this update. Well, if we end up searching stuff up, now you can see there's a little tag here that says that it's a mount, just in case you ended up getting tricked. Some people do end up getting tricked by items that look similar to mounts, but then, you know, whatever. More importantly, when we end up selling it, you probably ended up noticing this before, but we'll see the total amount of listings, the lowest listing, the average listing, and the highest listing. There's not really anything that I can use as comparison other than Gonda on the test server, just because nobody really sells anything on this server because flux duping was a problem back in the day. But I think that this is a huge quality of life change for everybody, PC included. This is, you know, mods never ended up having something really clean like this. So this is fantastic. And then for console players, you're going to end up enjoying the extra market space, even though we can still scroll down to see 2 more for whatever reason. I honestly, they may as well just remove these 2 just so that it's a cleaner UI, because frankly speaking, who's going to be selling a whole bunch of stuff anymore? Nobody, because, oh, this is a game, you know, stopping people from market flipping. Anyways, that's my 2 cents towards it, ladies and gentlemen, or maybe it's my 10% towards it. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback and whether or not you think that this is a good thing or a bad thing. Again, you could end up explaining it to me. Maybe it's something that is going to overall be good for the game and for the community. I just, most of all, am looking at how this is going to affect new players, and that is going to be very, very negatively, unfortunately. Especially for people that are trying to farm for flux so they can buy overpriced credit pouches. Now they are going to be discouraged from flipping on the market, which means that it limits our options of making flux in this game, and hopefully means that everything in the economy will slowly get cheaper. But probably not. Anyways, thanks for watching, gamers. Really appreciate it. Smash like stuff for more. Buy the merch you want. Support the channel. Sayonara and stay epic.